Confederates have answered the devastating losses at Gettysburg and Vicksburg with a crushing victory at Chickamauga. But now, in Tennessee, the armies are locked in a stalemate. Over 300,000 people have died, and there's still no end to the war in sight. The North and South share equally in their suffering, and people question what they are fighting for.
There was a tremendous anti-war movement that was kicking up, and the Democrats are starting to push the idea that what we need to do is put a Democrat in office and he will end the war. There are a lot of Americans that just want that to happen.
The deadly cost of this war is so much higher than I could have ever imagined. Perhaps those who wish to end the war are right.
I wish myself that it were done. The way to honor the dead is to not give up, but to ensure that what we're buying at this massive price is worth it.
Lincoln has this political vision. In a quiet moment, it kind of comes to him. This isn't about slavery. This isn't about states' rights. This is about something much larger, much loftier. It's about freedom.
Our troops were fighting in a righteous cause.
Close to 20,000 people come for a grand dedication of the Gettysburg Cemetery.
Mr. President.
And they bear witness to a 2-minute speech that illuminates the profound historic mission at the core of the Union's fight.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived, so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We've come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
All around the United States were monarchies and empires, and all of them derided the idea that all men were created equal. So it's now up to us to dedicate ourselves to that proposition. That is what Gettysburg taught.
While the dividing principle of the war is the issue of slavery, for the first 2 years, the Union is really fighting to preserve itself. But when Lincoln recast the mission of the entire war, he makes it clear that the North is fighting for the same things the Founding Fathers fought for, and America built on the principle that all men are created equal. And that foundation is more powerful than anything Jefferson Davis and the Confederacy can offer.